Again, Novatos, thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again, San Jose, California. So here it is, first impressions video on the Ghost Bandit. The Mod Bandit. Alright, so this is my third Simpson helmet. I own the Speed Bandit, I own the Ghost Bandit, and now I own the Mod Bandit. So I've been in the market for a mod helmet for some time now. I've been trying to get my hands on the SRT, discounted, but I haven't been able to find a good deal. But I found this on Motostorm for a very good deal, half the price you get it here in the United States. This is a ECE 2205. It's not a 2206, so that's probably the reason why I got this discounted. So check out those videos if you're wondering more details on ordering it from overseas, getting it shipped to the United States. So anyways, first impressions, what do I think? Like I said, I own the Ghost and I own the Speed. So far, the overall looks on these helmets, they're fantastic. They're badass. They're, Dino Bros love them. I like the look of them. They have drawbacks, of course. I've already mentioned this in a lot of my videos. As far as retro style looks, it's a 10 out of 10, all right? And in my opinion, I really like the way they look. I'm a huge fan. That's why I own 3 of them. I own three Simpson helmets. They look badass, and they have, like I said, they have some drawbacks. All right. So after writing this for the first 20 minutes, like I said, this is a first impressions video. I noticed a few things. All right. There's been a lot of complaints about noise, fitment, some other little things that I didn't necessarily, found myself or had, or issues that I didn't the issues that I did not deal with, or how do you say it? Anyways, the word's not coming to me. So far, there's some noise issues. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I bought the helmet. For some reason, this thing is just loud. All right, it is absolutely loud compared to my 3/4 helmet, compared to my half helmet, compared to a lot of my other retro classic style helmets that don't even have a windshield or a shield. Like I said, 3/4 helmets. This thing is louder than those helmets, amazingly. Like I said, it's a full face modular helmet. You could, lift this up, of course, do all that jazz, but when this thing is down like this, it is louder than, like I said, my 3/4 helmet. I have a Moto 3 helmet. This thing is louder than that for some reason. I don't know if it's the material. Maybe it's because of the actual shell or something like that. This helmet is absolutely louder than my 3/4 helmet. So that was like I said, that was a shocker. That was surprisingly, it's loud. All right. As far as, like I said, the shell itself, maybe it's the weight, because this is by far the lightest modular helmet out there on the market. You're not going to get anything lighter than this. Louder and lighter than this. So as far as, like I said, the weight, this is a little bit above 3.5 pounds. 3 pounds and about 3.8 pounds, which is surprisingly light. My Ghost Bandit weighs in at 3.5. So this is just slightly heavier than that. And you have the drop down shield, and you have, of course, the the lifting of the front of the helmet. So yes, it is light, it is loud, but at the same time, it's it's badass. So let's talk about the next couple complaints. For some reason, I get zero ventilation up here. Riding the helmet with this down, up, I don't get any ventilation from the top of these vents. Normally I do feel ventilation when I open up the top or the eyebrow vent. This doesn't have an eyebrow vent. It's got exhaust vent, but I just don't feel anything up here. The ones on the front, however, they do make a huge difference. All right, we are in the middle of the summer and it's getting hot. So when I was riding with this helmet for, like I said, the 25-30 minutes, the first impressions, like I said, I noticed I was getting, pretty hot in this thing. I wasn't aware of the front vents. Luckily, like I said, this is a modular helmet, so you can lift it up, cool down. Finally, when I noticed the little the little openings here, I opened it and it made a big difference having that ventilation from the top. So I meant from the front of the helmet, not up here. Zero ventilation. I don't know what it is, but this one I don't feel anything up here. I own multiple helmets. I own somewhere around 10 helmets, and I can tell you some of those other helmets will blow this helmet out of the water when it comes to, you know, those things. But moving on to the next thing, of course, some of the complaints about the chin of the helmet, you know, not having to kind of, you know, push down on it, and I guess getting some pressure on a few points of your head trying to close this thing down. Honestly, I didn't really find a problem with that. Normally what I do is I just lift it, and when I'm closing the helmet, I just hold on to this little knob here, that, you know, the latching system. I hold on to that. I push it, you know, push it down like I'm opening it, and I'm able to close it without an issue. So no problems there as far as closing the front of the helmet. Like I said, if you're somebody that just wants to, you know, just close it down and not have to push that in, I think it's a minor inconvenience, but it's something that I've already gotten used to in, you know, the first 25 to 30 minutes of riding with this thing. You know, just hold it down and close it, and that's it. Not a big deal. But hey, it just depends on you as far as, you know, closing it. Yes, it is a little bit rough, but it's a brand new helmet. Maybe it needs a little bit breaking in. Who knows? All right, stick around for the long-term review if you guys are just wondering. As far as the sizing of the helmet, a lot of people have been mentioning in the comments and the reviews, you gotta size down. Now, this thing comes in 2 different shell sizes, so I might be lucky with this. This is a size medium. My hat size is 1.25 inches. That being said, that's 57. I believe that's my number. That's my dome. This helmet fits me just fine. It fits me perfectly at a size M. So brand new helmet, not too small, not too big. I'm actually surprised on, you know, the overall footprint of the helmet. I have a small frame. I'm 5'7". A lot of the helmets look big on me. They look huge. All right. The Ghost Bandit is one of those helmets that look absolutely massive on my frame. The Ruroc 4.0 is another helmet that I own. It looks massive on my frame. Just, you know, smaller rider, big helmet. You look like a bobblehead coming down the road. You guys have seen some of the women out there that have these helmets. They're, you know, 4'11", 5 foot, 115 pounds, and they're riding around with a Ruroc helmet. They look, I don't know. They just look funny. So I'm a huge fan of having a helmet smaller with my size and my frame. And like I said, surprisingly, this is actually smaller than my Ghost Bandit. So that could be, like I mentioned, that 2 shell size thing that I mentioned. So maybe small to medium. They're probably the same shell, and the inner padding is what changes. That could be it. I might be wrong. I'm not too sure. It could be small, medium, large, and then extra large, extra large, extra large could be a different shell size, and then the padding is what actually changes. That's what I mean by the shell sizes. The outer shell could be the same for small, extra small, and medium, and then you have large, extra large, and extra large for that second shell size. So that could be it. Not entirely sure. So overall, I actually like the size of the helmet compared to my Speed Bandit and my Ghost Bandit. It's about the same size as my Ghost Bandit. As my Speed Bandit. Alright, so quick little comparison here. This is the Ghost Bandit, and this right here is the Mod Bandit. So you can see they're about the same on the overall size. It looks like the Mod Bandit is a little bit narrow compared to the Speed, and it's a little bit shorter. It's just, that's what it looks like, but these are pretty close. The Ghost Bandit is, bigger. It has a bigger frame than both of these helmets. So you can see they're both good looking helmets. I'm looking forward to changing the visor on this. So overall, style wise, the weight of it, I like it. All right, so this is my Speed Bandit. Like I said, pretty close. I really like the retro style. All right, so here's my Ghost Bandit. Just a quick look, comparison on the size. It looks about probably about a 20% increase in size compared to the Mod Bandit. So like I said, I am surprised on the overall size of the helmets, of the shells. You can see it's a little bit wider, and it's also a little bit taller compared to the Mod Bandit. So I'm looking forward to painting this as well. You guys already saw my Speed Bandit and my Ghost Bandit. They're all painted. So I'm looking forward to doing that with the Mod Bandit. Alright, moving on to a few other things that I picked up on. Like I said, there is no locking mechanism on the shield. Most of the Bandits, of course, they have a little locking mechanism. I never use that feature on my other helmets. I never lock it, but it does have positionings where it locks into place. So I never said, like I said, I never use the locking mechanism. You always kind of have to push it down a little bit, and then it locks into place. So you don't really have to have a lock or anything like that. I have not installed the pin lock system. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I have yet to install that. That was provided free from Motostorm. Another benefit from ordering it from the other side of the the globe. So you also have, of course, a drop down visor. Some folks have mentioned the visor hitting the bridge of the nose. Some people have had some issues with it. So far, from what I noticed from the drop down visor, it took a little bit of getting used to. I have a drop down visor on my Ghost Bandit. From just looking through the drop down visor, it wasn't like 100% coverage of my eyeballs. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the shape of the drop down visor, but a lot of the vision, my main vision, like I said, it's about 70% was covered under the smoked lens, I guess, or the tinted lens, and then the other 30% it was just regular daylight. So that took a minute to kind of get used to. That's something that took a minute, but after, like I said, after about 10 minutes, I was able to get used to it. It doesn't fall down at my point of view. Like I said, I'd say it's about 30 to 40% of my peripheral, I can't really say that word, vision was it wasn't covered, or it wasn't blocked by the drop down visor. That was the only thing that I noticed. Another thing that I noticed from the chin was the chin curtain kept on hitting, of course, my chin. Not a big deal, all right, not a huge deal. Whenever I would close it and open it, when I would open it, there wasn't an issue at all. But it was when I would close the front of the visor, that's when I felt the chin rubbing up against, the chin curtain rubbing up against my chin. We just kind of hit it. Not a big deal, but something that I believe I should just mention, stuff like that. So overall, I really like the helmet. All right, and if you could get it for half the price, if you buy this in the States, it's going to cost you over $500 plus taxes. It's a huge cost. Ordering it from Motostorm and not having to pay those taxes, the sales tax, that's something that I noticed when I purchased my Dominator fairing. If you buy something from overseas, then they don't have a physical location or a retail store in the United States. You don't have to pay for taxes, which is a huge benefit, considering 9.25 sales tax in California. That's going to add quite a bit of money to something that potentially could have cost $600. So like I said, I was in the market for this. I saw it on sale, plus I got I believe an extra 20% off from Motostorm. Huge discount compared to getting it for $600 plus. Got this sucker for under $300. So this is the Dark Sun, same thing as the Mod Bandit. Like I said, the only thing is the ECE 2205, whatever I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So looks cool. Like I said, if you ride with the half helmet, if you ride with a 3/4 helmet, this might be something that you're used to. But if you ride with the Shoei, with the HJC, which is really inexpensive helmets, even with Scorpions, if you own a Scorpion and you're making a move to this, man, it's going to be a significant change when it comes to noise. Now let's talk about buffeting. All right, this is another issue that some people have had. That really depends on the shell size of the helmet. Like I mentioned, this fits me perfectly. You know, this fits my head perfectly. All right, the Ghost Bandit, I have some issues with some pressure points, even at a size M. I don't know entirely what it is. That I've already broken in that helmet, and I still have some pressure point issues. This one has been pretty good. I should, you know, try it out a little bit more long range when I get to it. You guys have to, like I said, stay tuned for my follow-up reviews. But as far as pressure point, comfort, I believe it's a plus. It's pretty good. It's got a decent quality inner padding and foam. I compare it to the Ghost Bandit. You know, it's a little soft, so some good things. Another thing that I noticed from this button system of the helmet, when you put this thing on, this is covered completely. Now you can see that. I'm not sure if it's a design flaw. I don't know if it's something. I'm not entirely sure, but when I put this on, I don't have access. You can see it right here. You see it right there. So, you know, when I put this on, I really have to dig in underneath the padding so I could latch the helmet. So it's a plastic latch too. This, like I said, this came off on my first you know, test ride. So I was riding with the helmet like so, and I'm pretty sure I attached it. Like I said, this isn't my first Simpson helmet, but just having it underneath the padding, not having access to that lock or whatever you want to call it, that snap-on lock, this gets a little bit annoying when you have the helmet on. So just showing you guys right there. All right, you don't see it right there. Look at that. You really have to move the padding out of the way, put your thumb underneath of that, pull it out while you have the helmet on, and then snap that thing into place. Anyways, enough rambling. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for, you know, liking the video. Thank you for watching yet another video. Thanks for supporting the channel. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to share your thoughts down below in the comments about, you know, the Mod Bandit, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people wondering. I can tell you in the Facebook group, a lot of people wonder about the Simpson helmets, and it's just for the price. You know, $600. If you're, like I said, if you were to get it in the States, I really think you should probably consider getting something else. If you could get it for $300, you know, $250, I believe it's a solid helmet at that price range. If you could get one on sale or get a used one or whatever, then I think at the $250, $300, I think it's a pretty good buy. You just have to, I guess, wear earplugs, or, you know, you do something. I'm gonna try to do something with this, and I'm gonna try to see if I could lower that, you know, the loudness of the helmet. So overall style, the weight, it's a plus, and of course, you know, I'm looking forward to putting more miles with this thing. I'm not gonna send it back. Typically I keep all my helmets. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on the Mod Bandit. You guys stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.